Hey, everybody.
How's it going? We hope you're well. We want to remind you to like and subscribe. Remember, all you need is an email address and less than 5 minutes of your time. It's absolutely free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out our website, thehardystreetboys.com, and you can support us on Patreon. What's Patreon, Jamie?
Patreon, it's an app as well as a website where you can help us out and support us by giving us a small amount of money each month, and you get behind-the-scenes footage as well as early access to our episodes.
Yeah, $3 a month is the early access. $5 a month is all the behind-the-scenes footage, sometimes like how we make a song, maybe candid moments with a guest. And we're also going to start doing Hardy Street Boys After Dark, where we review past episodes, and it's uncensored, unfiltered, too hot for YouTube.
Yeah.
We have a big episode this week. We talk about chili cook-off. We talk about the song we wrote with our friends. I went and got LASIK with Dr. Cameron Griffith, and we have Tony Lymon, King Konga, rock star celebrity, pedal high school, just community man, coffee grinder, roaster. Yeah, like just does everything, man. So we have a big episode, and I think it's just time to get to it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
The Hardy Street Boys, Hardy Street Boys, Hardy Street Boys, it's the Hardy Street Boys.
Like and subscribe. So yeah, man, we had a great week.
What a week.
Super busy.
All the things.
Well, you know, whenever you add, I love making music with you, man. It's a fun thing. I love making music with our friends. We had Ray and Jaime come into the studio this week.
Yeah, we got a little funky with our friends.
We tried to fix the funk with our funk.
Yeah.
So far, I think it's working.
Funk versus funk, man.
I think our music is helping.
I think so, too. I think anytime you get Ray and Jaime involved, it's gonna take it up a lot of notches. Not just one notch, many notches.
I just wish people would have come to us first and be like, look, let Jaime get his clavinova out.
Yeah.
And I'm just telling you, even if the smell is still there, you're not going to care about it as much because you're going to be just, knee deep in our funk. So
yeah, I think we need to get him on the episode, like have his own episode sometime.
Oh, yeah.
We've had Ray, we need to get Jaime.
Oh, that'd be a great episode, and it's cool, man. But it is one of those. That was an extra day we had in the studio where, this week was I didn't have a spare moment, But it was fun, man. It was really cool we put out a lot of content. So.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of Jaime, his dad's like an eye guy. He knows about the optics.
Yeah, he does.
What do you know about optics?
Well, he's a physician at Southern Eye Center, and then this week I actually got to go get my LASIK done. Dr. Griffith took me through all of the what a patient who signs up for LASIK goes through.
Yeah.
So you get to see all the behind the scenes, exactly what room you're going to be in, what the machine looks like, so that when you do sign up for it or when you do book your appointment, maybe not as nervous. So we're gonna get to that a little bit later in the episode. It's I'm pretty proud of it, man. It was cool. We had Peyton Snyder film it. We stole him from Flat Toes Fine Foods.
Yeah, good dude.
He's a great guy.
He's an athlete.
Punter for USM football team. Hard worker, man. Really, really cool guy. Bright future ahead. But yeah, man, that was another thing that was taken up. Took some time. Putting all that together and. But it was cool, man. I did get away to the Hog, my Midtown bar locale.
Because everyone knows you're a Midtown guy.
Big Midtown guy. Everyone knows it. You know
They
it.
know it.
Do they know?
They should, that you're a big Midtown guy.
Everyone should know.
And you went over to the Mahogany Bar?
Yeah.
You get to see our friend Luke?
Yeah, I did see him. I saw Grant and saw the whole crew and had an old-fashioned. Man, they're old-fashioned. I don't know, man. I think it's getting better.
Oh, yeah.
I used to say I was a brass hat guy in the old fashioned, but I think the Hog is I think they're the best old fashioned in town now.
I would actually probably agree with you because in a weird roundabout way, I've had a couple of their old fashions and they are muy delicioso.
I'm not trying to cause, we're in the middle of a very serious podcast beef, but I'm not trying to cause whiskey beef. Bourbon beef with anyone.
Bourbon beef.
Yeah, bar beef.
Yeah.
I think the tides have turned. And, it's delicious, man. It's always fun hanging out there, too, seeing everybody. And, Yeah, man, it was good. The other thing that we really got done that was kept us busy was the chili cook-off video.
Ah, yes, the chili cook-off.
Man,
One of my favorite days of the year. Everyone knows that for sure.
for sure.
And it's a lot. It's a lot going on. Like, I didn't realize how much, not just judging, but like kind of being an MC and playing music as well. It was quite a day. I was so tired after it all was said and done. You know.
Yeah, it was. Well, and then when you go and do interviews like we did, it's fun, but it's weird. I don't. It's work, you know. So
yeah.
For me, I was more tired than, or like you're judging. Like we sat down with Allison Neville. Like everybody else is, as she said, whooping it up, and she's like doing math.
Yeah.
Upstairs at the
a lot
keg,
of tabulation, as you know.
As she said. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, there's I think she could commiserate with us where you're doing stuff that it's fun. It's definitely fun. But I was absolutely shattered at the end of the day. Like,
yeah,
dude, I was so tired.
What a day!
So much fun.
Beautiful weather too. Gotta love it.
Beautiful weather and actually went to El Rio after that, and they have live music at El Rio now too.
Do they?
So that was cool.
I like getting over there, man.
But yeah, man, that was cool and. I'm trying to think what else we ended up doing, man. I did actually get to go to the Brass Hat on Friday.
Yeah?
It's a good spot. Ate at Fuzzy's, then
Fuzzy's
walked over to
Tacos.
Brass Hat. You
Yeah.
know, that's cool. That whole Midtown Marketplace.
The district,
is cool.
yeah. I love it.
Yeah, that was fun.
It's a happening spot.
There were a lot of people out. Weather was beautiful. It was just a nice weekend and to follow the
I actually got to do some music stuff.
Yeah.
I got to DJ for some children over at Sacred Heart, a bunch of 5th and 6th graders, a lot of energy there.
Yeah.
A lot of interesting requests, too.
yeah.
Some kids will hit me with some throwback jams. Mm-hmm. I was quite impressed with a lot of these kids' requests for music.
Yeah. They like the oldies?
They do. A lot of kids like some 80s hits. Some kids wanted to hear some rock music. They wanted to hear like some Guns N' Roses and some AC/DC. I mean, I was like, okay. I mean, well, I'm down to play whatever the kids want to listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know.
That's awesome.
I'm like DJ low budget out there, you know.
Yeah, and then what was the glass blowing thing? Like, where was that?
So, out there at Tomley's Christmas Tree Farm.
Yeah.
Jeremy Tomley has a squad, and they do an amazing thing where they have like a Valentine's Day date night kind of thing set up a couple nights a week where you can do glass blowing. It's so cool. Hot Glass, Mississippi. It's amazing. It's really cool. You get to make stuff. It's interactive. It's just beautiful. I mean, I got to perform some music out there for a private party, and that was so much fun. Just getting out there, you know, he's got goats now. Land Shark was out there doing the food, and it was all delicious. It was a really fun time. You know, they do. If anybody hasn't checked out Tomley's Christmas Tree Farm, there's more than just Christmas trees out there. There's really cool stuff going on.
Yeah, it's like an event space.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
But like just the fact that they're doing that glass blowing stuff, it really makes them. Christmas time, you know, make some ornaments. Halloween time, you can make a pumpkin. You know, and this date night thing, people are making bowls. People are making vases and things like that. So it's very cool.
Vase or vase?
Vase, vase, either, whatever you want to say.
Well, that's cool, man. And I would be remiss if we didn't speak about our Pine Belt.
Oh yes, our Best of the Pine Belt.
Our new set and dressing. My students, Philip Petrolia and Tanner Davis. Tanner, who's actually helped us on the show a little bit. Shout out to those guys.
Yeah,
they are awesome kids, and they
love wrestling.
They love They're real into wrestling.
Exactly.
Real into
They created us as wrestlers on a video game.
Yeah, which we actually need to. You know, they've done another one.
Oh yeah.
Where
Have they?
Yeah, they want us to react to it. So we do need to do that soon because that would be fun.
Yeah, trust me. I used to watch wrestling, and I know who the Hardy Boys are in wrestling.
Yeah.
And they had it to where we took on the Hardy Boys, the Hardy Street Boys versus the Hardy Boys, and
they got our attire down. They created us on this video game.
I love it.
It's hilarious.
They even put on our theme song, and everything is so funny.
Tanner's an editing whiz. He's gonna kick my butt in editing. pretty soon. So it was really cool to we finally got this.
Yeah,
And,
the best of the Pine Belt. How literal.
Well, they obviously spent a ton of time on it. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
And
what other podcast has this?
I know. Certainly not the Everything Is Okay podcast. They don't have this.
Exactly.
Yeah. But but yeah, man, it was it's really cool, and that's one of the things I like about. That's probably the best thing about teaching is just like the kids that you think they don't care, or they just put up with you, and then you have something like this, and you're going, oh, okay,
Yeah, how rewarding.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Cool kids, man.
So yeah, gonna miss them next year for sure. But man, I'm real excited about our guest this week, Tony Lymon.
Tony Lymon.
He actually went to Southern Miss and was my dad's student way back in the day. So I knew him when I was like this tall. He
wow.
Played percussion for King Conga, national act from Hattiesburg that just like blew up. Taught at Petal High School in the band program.
Yeah, he's a musical dude.
Incredible percussionist. He's just started his own coffee company. EYrthbeat. We're gonna find out how to pronounce it correctly when he's here. And really making some moves downtown. I want to hear about what he's got planned. He's also done a ton for social justice in the area. Has been a really positive role model for a lot of people. And then me just personally, man, he's helped with. I've had a lot of production questions for him. He does video production too.
Oh, that's awesome.
And is just a Renaissance man, incredible resource for the Pine Belt. And we're so happy that not only does he live in the Pine Belt, but he's on our show. So I think it's time to get Tony Lymon on.
Let's bring him on.
Thanks, Jamie.
Do I have to pay for that, or is it all the rights are free for that?
Yeah, Jamie's original house band. He's the house band, composer, everything, all original.
And he donates it to the show. What a philanthropist, I guess, if you could call it that.
Thank you.
A musical philanthropist.
Yep, and philosopher, and yeah, he's like our Mozart. So yeah, Thanks, Jamie. Super excited because we have the illustrious, the Renaissance man, what don't you do, Tony Lymon. How are you today, sir?
I am doing well. Thank you for having me on the show. I've done some research on the show, and one thing that I noticed is I don't know who I'm supposed to be looking. Should I look at you?
Look at Drew.
Or should I look? Okay, I'll look at Drew.
Jamie is in the corner.
Yeah.
Jamie is
just
in
give
the
me
corner.
side eye.
You don't acknowledge him.
Okay.
Nothing but side eye.
Like if you look at him, he just doesn't exist. You know,
No, I noticed that with the past guest. I was like, did Jamie do something wrong?
Yes. Nobody puts Jamie in the corner.
Okay.
It's just because of the mic, but we do like to. We actually told a guest that, like, don't look at Jamie, and they literally thought, like, I was being rude, I was being mean to him.
This is gonna be my show one
like
day.
Shaming him or something.
The
Like, no,
shaming
it's
from
just
Jamie.
because of where the mic points, whatever.
Well, I just wanted to state publicly that I'm on Team Jamie.
Yeah, everyone is.
There you
And
go.
that
That's
just because I'm not gazing into your eyes
I appreciate that.
doesn't mean that I don't love you.
everyone's Team Jamie. I got my mom and my grandmother, and that's it. And that's fine. I've come to terms
Very
with
good.
that. I'm at peace with it, and
Yeah.
that's cool. But it's Tony, man, you are a busy man. First, I want to talk about how I know you. You actually were in the percussion program at Southern Miss.
Yes.
And I don't know how old I would have been. I was pretty little.
Yeah,
I was walking, so I was at
about
least
2
this
or 3,
tall.
maybe 3 or 4.
We moved here when I was 4-ish.
Okay.
4-ish, 5, something like that. So pretty young.
You know, I just thought about this. How old are you now?
I'm 33.
You are older by a lot than your dad was when he first started teaching at Southern Miss. I think he was like 27 or 28.
Right. Fresh
Wow.
out of.
And that was like groundbreaking for someone that young to have such a big job, and he's still there.
Yeah.
That's
still
awesome.
There. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's right. I mean, I hadn't thought about that. That
Yeah.
is wild. Yeah, that's true. But what did you like your college experience like doing? Because you still teach, you're still involved with pedal bands, but being in the band program, what did you learn from that experience, and how did it help you going forward into adulthood?
Well, I can tell you specifically at Southern Miss, it was a time where I realized that I could do anything. And I came from the Mississippi Delta, grew up poor, you know. My mom was a drug addict, and my grandmother raised me, and the Delta in the 80s for me was like kind of an age of despair, and it was like, if you grew up in the 80s in the Delta, it was like, how do I get out of here?
Right.
And that's not saying anything bad, and it may be in particular to my situation, but when I got to Southern Miss, it was like everything had changed. I had all this opportunity, everything I aspired to be, I had the opportunity to be that. And through your dad and through other mentors like that provided those opportunities for me to see the world and to do all these things, I was like, you know what? I'm only limited by what I want to do. And so that was probably the biggest thing that being in the music studio gave me at Southern Miss. And I want to give back, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm only limited by what I want to do. That's kind of a scary thought too. It's great.
Yeah.
But it's also a little scary, and like you did take that and ran with it with the band King Conga.
I did.
Like
yeah.
that's how'd you get into King Conga? How'd you get that going, and what was it like to y'all were on the top of a rocket ship?
Yeah, we were on the head of a rocket ship, and it all started. Three of us were in the drum line at Southern Miss, and it was Dan Hannon and a guy named Jeff Mills. And we were roommates. And at the time, man, I was probably the biggest orchestral snob. Like I was going to go play in the Boston Symphony Orchestra. In fact, that's what my goals were. I was going to graduate from Southern Miss, and I was going to New England Conservatory. I had already set it up. I had been talking with Vic Firth and all of that stuff. And one day, Jeff Mills actually came by, and he was a member of the Phi Tau fraternity on campus, and they needed a day band to play. And Dan Hannon used to play guitar all the time, and like he was one of the guys that would show up at a party and start playing guitar, and all the girls would be like, ah,
yeah.
And I was like, man, I want to do that too.
Yeah.
You can't just bring like a barimbau to a party.
That's true.
Unless you're in Brazil.
You can't. Yeah. Not here.
Not here. Yeah.
Yeah. I can bring a barimbau. Oh my gosh.
American chicks don't dig the barimbau.
Right. They just don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was like, dude, we could play at the frat party.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't do that.
Right.
I'm an orchestral musician. I just don't participate in those kind of things. And he was like, well, we each going to get like $250 a piece. I was like, I now am a member of this band. Let's go do it. We didn't even have a name. We just went to play. And then the person who was supposed to announce us, and we were sitting up on a deck in the backyard, and they had like crawfish and stuff, and they were about to announce us, and we realized we had not come up with a name for this. And Dan goes, we're Dan Hannon and the Has-Beens. I was like, good enough for me, as long as I get the $250,
right.
We'll be whatever.
Right.
And so out of that, the guy who was cooking crawfish was a guy named Don Gill. They had hired Don Gill, who owns Donanelli's, and who has since passed away. And so he said, man, why don't you guys come out to my bar out here on 49 and play, and I'll pay you again. It was like, I get to make $250 again? Yes, let's do this. And so we went and did it again. And at that thing, there was a booking agent that books all over the Southeast. And he goes, I can have you guys playing 4 or 5 nights a week for as long as you want to.
Right.
And I started doing the math.
Yeah.
4 nights at $250. That's like the most money I ever thought of in my entire life.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's do this.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, we need a press kit. And we're like, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
So that's obviously where you have a list of your songs. We're a cover band. And so I had some computer skills, and I started putting it together. And I was like, Dan Hannon and the Has-Beens. And Dan walks in and says, a friend of mine said we should call it King Conga, because we have congas in the band. And I was like, backspace, and King Conga, and there it was.
There it is.
And from there, one thing led to another. We wound up getting songs on the radio. We played at Woodstock 99, got offered a record deal.
Wow.
Met up with, on our last album, a producer in Atlanta named Rick Beato, 20 years ago, who's now like a YouTube star, and he's quit producing.
Yeah.
And, I wrecked it all because I wanted to be a high school band director.
Yeah. Okay. So, hey, how did that happen? Because you have what so many people would think is all that you need, all that you want.
Yeah.
I finally got I got my foot in the door. I got a record deal. Like, I'm playing Woodstock 99, which is like insane. You know,
That was the crazy one, right?
Yes.
That
Crazy
was-
would be a mild statement for that.
That was the mudslinging one, right?
No. I think this was like the things
burned
catching
it
on
down.
fire.
Oh, yeah.
This was like a riot, Limp
Yeah.
Bizkit, and
we saw it happen. We saw that was going to happen. Like,
wow.
the tensions were just at a fever pitch. There were, 250,000 people out there. And they were charging $8 to $10 for a bottle of water, and
Jeez.
You could feel the tension in the air.
Yeah. That's nuts.
But yeah, and there I got to, like, I'm standing on stage watching Dave Matthews. To my right that's my left, by the way. To my left is Alanis Morissette, and to my right is P. Diddy. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, how did I get here? Like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
But to fast forward, Will Botwin, who was the president of Columbia Records at the time, flew us up to New York. It was like, and we didn't bring anything with us. Like, we sent what we play with, our instruments, and we walk into this room in Manhattan, and all of our stuff is set up. And we, do a little sound check. About 10 minutes later, the president of Columbia Records walks in. He sits down. We get through half a song. He just stands up, and we cut up. He's like, yeah, just make it happen. Do the thing. And literally walks out of the room. That was it. And then they whisked us away upstairs, and they started bringing all these marketing people talking about how they're going to market everything and this and that. I'm thinking, man, our life's about to, like, this is about to be it. Mm-hmm. And so later that night, I was like walking around, like, I was like stunned. Like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this the thing? And I was like, well, if this is it, I need a sign that it is it. And then the next, got back home, and we had an outdoor concert at Tulane. And man, I could barely make it through the gig.
Really?
Like it was like my heart turned to stone. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Right.
It was like 2 days later. I don't want to do this anymore. And I called the guys. We got back home after that gig, and I called the guys up. I said, I know this is going to sound dumb, but I'm out. I'm supposed to be teaching kids, and my talents are supposed to be there. I'm supposed to be there doing that, influencing kids, and giving them the opportunities that I got. I quit the band that day. I re-enrolled in school because I left school in my last semester. Re-enrolled in school and finished out my degree in music education in a semester. And I was an assistant band director at Petal High School. And I've been there since.
Yeah, and you're like, well, what's crazy to me too is like you're such a fixture in Petal and in the area for that position. What is it like? I'm interested because, man, I've been teaching for a while, and I'm kind of like, we're doing this. I'm kind of seeing like the bright lights. You start thinking about it. What was more gratifying about the teaching thing versus like, because you've been to you've seen the summit.
Yeah.
What's the difference? What do you prefer? What do you like more about teaching and being there for those kids?
Seeing the things that got me to where I am today happen over and over again, and setting the stage for it. Because somewhere, I would show up with, there'd be 200 blank faces from all walks of life, and from whatever situation that you can imagine that they're coming from. And for me to tell them my story and then provide them with a vehicle, the same vehicle that I had, to dream up whatever it is that they want to do, and then see them do it. Oh my gosh! Like I get, that's more than any check that anybody could give me.
Yeah.
And like I'm seeing kids. I have kids at Yale right now. I have kids that just got a text the other day from a kid who this kid was like a nightmare of a behavior problem. He family was in military, moved around a lot. And he just didn't have a place. And like to the point where the other kids are like, we're afraid of this guy. Like and it just turned out, man, the kid just needed purpose. He was brilliant. And all of that brilliance just didn't have a purpose for it. And it's not all me, man. Like I can't say that I have a whole team of people that work on this. I'm just really dedicated to this specific thing. And this kid just went when he graduated from high school. His parents go like, "What should he do? What does he do with all?" I was like, "With his talents, he should consider this place called Full Sail University. You probably heard of it. It's a
Florida,
production, yeah,
a lot of stuff, cool stuff."
They're like, "Yeah, I think we'll check it out." And I was like, I didn't think anything of it. I didn't even think he would really go. And it was like, "Oh yeah, he went." And I was like, "Okay, cool." I got a text the other day. The kid graduated valedictorian of Full Sail.
I saw your post about
Yeah.
that. That's nuts.
It's like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is just that's what keeps me coming back to the table.
Well, and it's everybody has to have an avenue in which to direct their energy.
Right.
And that's what I like about music, especially drumming. I like drumming and I like running because it calms my brain down.
Yeah.
Because if I don't have that, well, then I would have behavior problems too.
Yes.
Even as an adult, like you're frustrated, you get angry, and it's not your fault. And there's a lot of kids that it's really cool. There's kids that don't understand that yet.
Right.
They haven't worked that out yet, that they're not a bad kid. They're not a bad person. They just don't have an avenue for all that energy that they've been given yet.
Right.
And so that's so really cool that you can give that to them.
Right.
What makes Pedal different from other schools, though? Because you guys have an incredible band program, incredible WGI program, indoor. Like, why is it? What's different at Pedal than maybe other places here or in the country? Because you guys are doing it right. You know, y'all do well. You compete too. What do you think sets Pedal apart from other places?
Well, it's a great community because that community has given us their trust. Mm-hmm. And when someone trusts you, you've got to be able to deliver in droves. Like you've got to be able to make them not regret giving their trust, because trust is literally the only thing you really own. You can have a nice car or a nice house, but you don't really own it. If it burns down, but you own your trust. And that goes directly to your heart. And I know personally, I've been trying to be a steward of people's trust there. We have not ever focused, despite popular belief, on competition. I never talked to them about, we're going to go in there and beat so-and-so and so-and-so. Our competition is the group we were yesterday. And I tell them that all the time. And I usually pick a task that is way bigger than us, that almost seems impossible. And we measure ourselves by how close we can get to it. And I used to call us the elephant eaters, because the way you eat an elephant is one bite at a time. The next thing you know, that elephant is gone. You're done. And, the commitment to those principles, I think, is what has contributed to the success. And the winning stuff, the winning stuff almost seems secondary now. We've won the state percussion title for the past 25 years. I don't know of any other entity in the state that's been that successful at something. But it's almost like, I don't want to say it doesn't matter. If we go in there and win something, we weren't our best, we didn't win. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that has happened before. Right. And there have been times in there where, we were our best and didn't win. It didn't matter.
Right.
At things, So we kind of set our own standards for what we want to be and who we want to be, and we want to grow as people. And that the commitment to that is what I would attribute to. And just the trust of the community and the team that I work with who are committed to the same things.
Well, it's like the byproduct of that is winning, not winning isn't the focus.
Exactly.
So if what you're doing is right, well, then the byproduct is going to be, at least, if not winning, at least being up there with the top ensembles in the area.
Right.
Yeah, that's so impressive. And so how many, you talk about DCI, Drum Corps International. It's starting to catch on more in the South now, and maybe the last 10, 15 years. How many DCI products has Pedal put out? Because that's the other thing. You got a lot of people. When you watch you guys in the lot, just people warming up, you're going, this looks like it could be an actual drum corps.
Yeah.
Like this is, and this is a school. So like how many products do you have that have marched in DCI?
I don't know if I've ever put a number on it, but it's a lot. It's quite a lot.
Yeah.
And a large part of it is that the process that we use to train the students is the same. We're all products of that. I was in the Star of Indiana. Ryan Saul was in Santa Clara Vanguard. And we have just numerous people on staff that, cadets and Blue Knights, Blue Coats, just all of those different drum corps. We kind of get those people to come in and help us out. So the process is the same conceptually. Of course, it's not made of 21-year-old people who paid thousands of dollars and are trained, want to be there went through this rigorous process. A lot of it is just a 14-year-old ninth grader who, is doughy-eyed and just walks in the room and says, I think drums are cool. All right, well, come on.
Yeah.
Let's plug you into the system. First thing you know, you've got a place here. Everybody loves you. This is going to be the most difficult thing that you've ever done in your life. But I guarantee you a reward. The reward is you will know and be able to do anything that you want to do. And so, that journey from them being a doughy-eyed, ninth grader to seeing them in their adult life, or as a 21-year-old as the center of the Blue Coat snare line, which is happening right now. One of our kids, Sebastian Martinez, is leading the Blue Coat snare line.
That dude can play too.
He is,
my gosh,
a phenom.
Yeah, that dude can play.
I don't even. When I wrote the show his senior year, he had a couple of solos in it. And I was like, I'm not writing that. Like, I first of all was never that good, or will be that good, or understand what it is you can do. You write it.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
That's sick.
So that's the thing that I like most about what we do is that, just seeing that journey again. It used to be like we were talking about being a band director, seeing from sixth grade, but seeing them when they get to high school and going all the way through their adult lives is great.
Yeah, that's so cool, man. And that's the thing. You can tell you care about that, and there's so much time and effort and attention to detail put into that. And that's why I'm excited about your new venture with coffee. But we're going to take a short break. And after this, we're going to talk all things coffee with Tony Lymon. So you have a birthday coming up.
Well, believe it or not, I'm teaming up with T-Bone's Records and Cafe, and we're going to have a blood drive on Friday, March 11th, between 3 and 6.
And you go there and they take your blood from you. You don't mail it in a Ziploc bag.
Yeah, please don't do that. They have a bus on site. They'll do it safely. I would love for everyone to come out and check it out. It should be a fun time. There will be giveaways and such like that. It's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Yeah. You can get like a gluten-free cookie after that at T-Bone's.
Probably, yeah. And it also, giving blood is a good thing to do, especially times right now. So everybody should consider donating blood.
There is a nationwide shortage.
Exactly.
So check out the link in our bio or the description, depending on where you see this, and go sign up to give blood today.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, I'm excited about your latest venture into coffee, EYrthbeat. For some reason, I want to call it EYrthbeat because of the A it's like a Y kind of, but it's pronounced EYrthbeat for anybody who's wondering.
Yes.
Why coffee? How do you get into something like this?
Okay. I had a friend who said, "Come over, I'm roasting coffee." He's a local physician. His kids are in the pedal bands. He's a band dad. And I go over his garage, and he has this little glass roaster that he got on Amazon. And, I had no idea that, you could roast, a person could roast coffee. Right. I never really thought about the process of it.
Right.
I thought it was something that was done, by Juan Valdez on a mountain or something.
Yeah.
With a donkey.
Yeah.
I had no idea that a regular person could do it.
Right.
And I got fascinated by it. And Ateze was like, man, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I started hanging out with him doing that. And then the pandemic hits. And I get on YouTube like most people did. And I started like roasting coffee beans. I watched coffee roasting videos ad nauseum. And I was like, I'm going to roast a little coffee during the pandemic. So I ordered a little coffee roaster on Amazon. And I ordered some beans, and I could get them from all over these different countries, and I know they're like from Brazil, from Africa, from the Java Coast, all of these places, and my brain associates all these countries with percussion instruments.
Right.
When I think of Brazil, I think of a surdo. And then something hit me. I was like, I bet I could market this, and I was like, what if I called each one of the roasts, named it after the percussion instrument from the country that they're from? That's it.
Yeah.
And so I went through several different names trying to come up with something. And there was this kind of drum corps based Broadway show called Blast. And a lot of my friends were in it. And there was a movement of it called EYrthbeat. And I was like, there's the name right there. Yeah. I had already been working on some other, I wanted to get into commerce somehow, like a departure from everything that I'd ever done. And I had worked on some merchandise for the marching arts called Hype Society. And that all went away because the pandemic happened and all the places that I would market this stuff had gone away. Right. And I came up with this logo that had a Y in it with a little, I call it a hype guy. And I thought that was so cool that I didn't want to lose it. So I like to misspell things for attention. So I took the Y and took the A out of EYrthbeat and put the Y in there, and then it became EYrthbeat with a Y.
There you go. Yeah,
that's the story. I wish it were more interesting than that, but that's what it was.
No, it's smart, and it's like it's memorable too.
Right.
I've told several people, yeah, Tony's got an earthy beat. It's not even close to what you did it either. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But no, it's really exciting. I like that whole, like a Brazilian roast is a kasha or something.
Yeah.
That's cool. What are the different kind of roasts that you have, and what are their names?
I have a light roast is from Ethiopia, Yirgacheffe region. I call that a kibero, which is kind of a chalice-shaped drum from Ethiopia. My medium roast is called uli uli. It is from the Kona region of Hawaii. And uli uli is one of those, whenever you see, if you go to those Hawaiian ceremonies where they're dancing and twirling fire, the uli uli drums are like worn on their legs and they're like, tick, 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 tick. So that's uli uli. The medium roast is called surdo, which is a Brazilian bass drum. And the dark roast is from Bali, and I call that gamelan. And then the extra dark roast for the people that like, it's the close. If you're trying to get your gateway drug away from Starbucks, the extra dark roast is where you want to go. It's called marimba, and marimba's from Guatemala. The beans are from the Huehuetenango region of Guatemala.
Wow, that's cool, man. Even in your business, you're educating people, man. Can't get away from always teaching. Can't get away from it. No, that's really cool, man. And is the surdo, is it loud? Is it a loud flavor? Because surdo in Portuguese means deaf.
Yes.
Like, I can't hear anymore. It's so loud. Yeah. So is it a loud flavor?
It is my most popular roast.
Nice.
People tend to like that one. So it's definitely loud in my bank account.
That's good. That's good. Why are things from Brazil just cooler? It's not even fair.
And I haven't been to Brazil yet.
I haven't either.
I want to go.
Let's go.
It's a nation of percussion.
Let's just go right now.
Let's go.
Let's go. We're going.
Yeah, it's a nation of percussion and soccer. I don't know how I haven't been there yet, but yeah, it's man, that's super cool. It's cool that it's cool that you're doing this, and like you're such a great success story and such a great role model for the kids that you still teach and mentor. And like we were talking earlier, Jamie was saying, like, with arts programs being cut and with people maybe not realizing that music is a way to get you out of a bad situation, or commerce, business, focusing on starting your own business, which is something that's encouraged in this country, is something that can get you out of or can help you improve your situation. And it's just really cool to see that, it's someone living it. It's just nice.
Yeah.
And
this opportunity was provided to me by a lot of people that just gave a crap. Your dad included, that dedicated their lives to seeing that this kid who couldn't sit still from the Delta had the opportunity that they directed all of that. Obviously, they thought there was enough there to invest in me. You know what I mean? And I'm thankful for those people every day, that they showed me the opportunity. And I feel like I have to give that back, And it just so happens that I enjoy giving that back because I get way more back from seeing my students, man. I'm on social media a lot, and I'm at the age now where the students that I first taught are now moms and dads. And to see them with their kids and to see them like thriving right now, man, it chokes me up, because I remember when it was their futures were hanging in the balance. It's like they could have gone either way, So yeah, great experiences.
That's powerful. Now you are going to actually open a store, right?
I am,
because your stuff is available. You have a website.
Yes.
Link is in the description below. But you're going to have an actual storefront, brick and mortar.
There's a brick and mortar store that's coming to downtown Hattiesburg.
Let's go.
Yes.
Downtown Hattiesburg.
Exclusive. That's a Hard Street Boys exclusive.
Yes.
Let's go.
I am so about the downtown Hattiesburg movement. I am totally down for it. And when I talked with my partners and investors about it, I was like, I don't care what we do. I want it to be downtown Hattiesburg because this is the city that gave me opportunity, and I want to be a part of reviving its opportunity.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna happen. It's gonna be a while. I can't really talk about the location, but
give us exact coordinates.
Yeah.
We want longitude, latitude. We want. No, I'm just kidding. No, I understand. I appreciate you giving us this much information.
Absolutely.
It's very exciting. It's something to look out for sure.
And I want that to be a place for everybody. And as I was talking with one of the architects about it, I was like, I want everybody to feel like this is their special place. Like I want millions of people to come, but I want each one of those million people to think, oh, this is my place. This is my couch. That's my thing. I want to create that home environment through coffee, and there will be drums in there as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's going to be a killer hang, man. So,
yeah.
Well, we're looking forward to that, and I encourage people to order your coffee online now and support.
You can also get it at T-Bone Records right now. T-Bone's is selling EYrthbeat coffee right now, this minute. So, finish watching the rest of this episode and then get in your car and go to T-Bone's and get it.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Well, I'm so happy for you, and thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with us.
For sure.
And this is crazy. Life is just wild to me.
It is.
If someone would have told you that, hey, you're that 5-year-old kid who's at band practice at the Pride is going to interview you on a talk show one day, you just be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What? I know.
On the internet. I would have been like, what's the internet?
Right.
First of all.
Right, on YouTube.
I haven't talked to Al Gore yet, so.
Excuse me? Yeah, exactly. It's so wild, but this is so
Al
cool.
Gore's sitting in his office like, I'm going to plug. There it is. I have the internet.
Just pulling strings, man. So this is really cool. Very special episode. So thanks for sitting down with us.
Thank you for having me. And for all of the people out there that don't know that this takes, I know it looks like these guys just come in here and just sit down and start doing this thing, but this takes an incredible amount of work and an incredible amount of planning and forethought, and then just sticking with it to building an audience. So please watch this show and support it and do all those things because it comes from you. These guys are Hattiesburg, and the better they get, the better you get, the better we all get. And then everybody needs coffee afterwards.
Exactly.
You know
Good
what I mean?
coffee.
And you know,
Yeah.
we hadn't even mentioned this. This is the 50th episode.
50th.
You're big
Whoa.
5-0.
Wow.
So it is. It's a grind. Thank you for those kind
I'll be
words.
50 November 1st.
This is perfect. So
There it is.
this is perfect in so many ways.
Yeah.
If you want to check out Tony Lymon, check all the links in the description below on social media, where to get your EYrthbeat, not Earthy Beat, EYrthbeat coffee, and go visit T-Bones. Jamie, can you play us out?
Sure.